I think that's one of the first things that we need to do actually is take a peek at some of the upcoming Shop Talk sessions. So let me grab a quicker view. Probably the best way to do it is go to the French playground. I know tonight will probably be quite light as far as teachers because I know a lot of teachers, tomorrow is the first day back, the first day of 2017. Mind you, I do know that some people have been back already, but I believe the majority of teachers, it's pretty safe to say, it's their first day back tomorrow. So I think a lot of people are just soaking up their last moments of vacation, and that's cool. That's definitely cool. But we definitely thought we'd offer a shop talk tonight for those who had an opportunity to come out tonight, and hopefully we can share some ideas and get a little bit of energy going for the new 2017 year that has arrived. So many people anxious to see 2016 go, and so 2017 is finally here, and I'm excited for it. Actually, we have lots planned, not just on Shop Talk, but on so many formats, so many platforms that we do some really cool French stuff with. There's a lot of things heading your way and my students' way and your students' way in 2017, and we just can't wait to reveal all the cool things that are going to be coming down, and we'll reveal those things as the weeks start to progress. Alors, bienvenue tout le monde. And so let's take a look. We were just talking, if you just joined us, if you get a chance, just type your name, let us know what grade and level you teach, and where it is that you teach. That would be great. Okay, so I just retyped mine, but you can probably already see on your screen. I can check your audience view screen. Yeah, I already have that up there. So welcome everybody. Let's get to it. And the first thing that we said we were going to do, so let me unmute the screen, and it should change. And there it is. So let's go on the French playground, and if you're not familiar with it, it's quite simply FrenchPlayground.com. It's not really no clever name. It's just FrenchPlayground.com. And let's go to the Coin Culturel, because Coin Culturel has le calendrier, and on this calendar is a list of all the events that are available for us as students, or sorry, for us as teachers, for our French students, and for us as French teachers, where we can get together and do things. And one of my favorite places to get together with you guys is right here on Shop Talk. If we look at the calendar, you can see right here, I'll just circle it. Actually, I activated all your pens too. Oh, that's boring. The program gave me gray. I don't want gray. Let's go red. Okay, so you can see this is today's Shop Talk. And so we're going to talk about the journey to the destination of French proficiency. That's the topic. But in 2 weeks, 2 weeks is going to be a really cool one. So please put it on your calendar. Oh, I love that. Somebody's already putting a happy face. So I'll just circle your happy face there. Shop Talk, French fun food for French students, okay? Mark it on your calendar, January 22nd, 7 o'clock, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, that is, okay? I know we're coming from all over the world, so, but we just go with Eastern Standard Time because we need to pick a time zone, so that's what we do. And we're going to have some guests, French chefs. We're going to have, I'm not going to reveal everything. Like I said, there's so many cool things that we have ready for you guys. If you guys are interested, keep with us, okay? And you'll see. All right, let's get back to what we're doing. So first of all, if you're new to Shop Talk, welcome. Shop Talk's been running for 2 years now. This is fantastic. It's been running for 2 years, and 2 full years actually. And what we do is we meet here on Sunday evenings. We share ideas, copy and paste shareables, and you get free giveaways and more. It's fantastic. My name is Steve Langlois. Very happy to have you guys here. I'm a teacher. I teach French Immersion, grade 9s and 10s, and I'm also department head of our high school. And I've taught elementary, I've taught everything core French Immersion. I've worked with several publishing companies all over Canada, the US, and Europe. And I just love, I get most energized when I'm with us. And because only we can understand us. And so it's just so great to be with you guys. The chat box that you have there is really the tool that I would encourage everybody to use to copy and paste things. So in that chat box right there, I just put for you a whole bunch of ways to get connected. I think it's really important for 2017. Let's make this a year of being connected. So let's get connected. Let's get our students connected with each other. Let's get our students working together. If French is a living language, my question is, shouldn't we be living French? That's my question. What do you think? Type your answer in the chat box. What do you think about that? Absolutely. That seems to be consensus, and that's fantastic. So we're all on the same page as far as that goes. And that's what we talk about here on Shop Talk, using authentic tasks, using real life situations. Sometimes we have crazy ideas we come up with. Sometimes we make things together like documents. So it's really, really cool. And so Andrea writes, yes, and hopefully tonight we'll have some more ideas how to get grade 6s to live it. Okay, absolutely. You certainly will. I'll be sharing some stuff, and everybody else, feel free to pop in. You guys can put down web links. You can put down files. We can do a lot of things here on Shop Talk. You already have discovered that you can draw all over the screen. We'd like to thank the Shop Talk sponsors, which is the French Playground, which we just went to the French Playground to see the calendar of upcoming events. Hopefully you saw on there a lot of Kahoot games, Quizlet games, meet and greets, different ways where we can actually get our students together, and it's all free. And of course the DJ DELF kit, which is the resource that we actually steal stuff from. Okay, that's just the basic truth. We use that resource to steal our ideas and share them here on Shop Talk. I have to tell you, one of the first cool things about 2017, if you haven't had a chance to check it out yet, is definitely go to the djdelf.com website. And here, I'll put it up for you here. And go to the animated videos page. So here is one of your first freebies. So hopefully everybody can copy and paste what you see in the chat box. If you're driving right now and you're just listening on your phone, you can always contact us. You can contact me through Facebook, or you can email us at info@educarock.com, and you can get any of these files from us. So there's no problem. You never lose here. Okay? But when you go to this page, you can scroll, and all the animated videos, these are real life situations. So there's 9 real life situations, and for each one there's 4 different types of videos. There's a full video, there's a version where your students can interact with a female French person in the video. These are animated, so they're fun. The third version is the male partner version, and the last one is blank bubble versions, where your students actually improv, or they add their own text to the bubbles, and it's a lot of fun. Well, here's the point. Now they're all available on instant download. So I can scroll down here. So they're all available on instant download, which is really great. So I'm bringing this up because DJ DELF Kit, of course, is a sponsor. But not only that, but because there's some free stuff here for you. Who doesn't love free stuff? Okay, so if you go and you just scroll down just a little bit, hopefully you can see this already in your screen. You can see free full samples of these. So you can actually try this even tomorrow with your students, whatever version you want to try. And if you're wondering, well, what do I do with these? No problem. What's really, really cool is Educarock already gave us, you click right here, and there's over 430 ideas to use with these videos. So go check it out. That's pretty cool. It's nice. I like, as a teacher, I like when I can try something before I buy it. So try it before you buy it type thing. I love that. So I'm very, very grateful that Educarock did that. So you can check that out. So there's your first freebie, I guess. Go there and check that out. It's brand new, the instant downloads, but you can actually try them before. So that's cool. Yes, there is one for directions. Absolutely. So Michelle, it's a really good question. There is one for directions. I'll bring it back up for you so you can see. I'll scroll down here. Where's the directions one? Oh, maybe it was up here, right? Yeah, it was. Yes, I did say A. Okay, so there it is right here. Suivez mes directions. Actually, it's one of my favorite ones. So there is, this character's name is Nathan. This character's name is Sophie. And they're driving in the car and they're trying to figure out how to get there. They even pull out a map. Wow. So you'll have to teach students what a map is in order for them to understand. Yeah, I know. I'm just kidding. Okay. All right, let's bring it over. And let's talk about directions, okay? So the hot topic this week, today's hot topic, is suivez mes directions. So it is talking about the destination, and I mean this in a literal sense and a pedagogical, metaphorical sense as well. Here on Shop Talk, we always strive to achieve pedagogical correctness. We try to use research-based proven practices to motivate our students for language acquisition, right? A lot of people hate the word teaching and learning. Language acquisition. Language acquisition is a much more natural way of talking about the process of learning a language, right? Okay, so when I talk about like not just the literal sense, I'm going to talk about the whole idea that the way I kind of envision language acquisition is the idea of a destination. And the destination is quote unquote supposedly French proficiency. Now that's going to mean different things to different people. But the idea is that's the destination. So now we can discuss that there's actually a journey that goes towards that. And that journey is filled with a lot of road marks. Road markers, basically, is what I was trying to say. A lot of road markers. And the journey is basically scaffolded because every experience along the way builds upon the previous experience. Does that make any sense? Give me a wee you know if I'm making any sense when I'm doing that. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to, right now, the same website, the DJ DELF Kit website, and I'm going to go to the members section, and I'm going to click on Suivez mes directions, and we're going to do this together, all right? I'm going to click on it. There. Okay. And even it says right here, but the road markers to your destination, which is funny because this is Suivez mes directions, which is what we're actually borrowing our ideas and sharing our ideas from. And let's talk about doing basically a 1, 2, 3 step along that way. When we start a unit, we used to call them units, we call them life aspects now, but when you start a unit, it's beneficial. So I never like to prescribe and tell people you have to do it a certain way, but it's beneficial, in my opinion, to have a destination in mind. There's a lot of teachers who are into project-based learning. Anybody here into project-based learning? You can put a shout out in the chat box if you want to. The idea of your students and you understand that at the end, we're going to have a project that we're doing at the end. Like there's a reason essentially why we're doing this. So this is Suivez mes directions. This is a unit, if you will, on directions, giving directions, navigating streets, talking about stores and the town and moving around in the city or whatever it is that you want, right? So let's look at some possible destinations. And I'm going to put them in the copy and paste box so that you can actually keep them as considerations if you wish. Would you like that? Give me a oui or no if you would like me to put this in the chat box. Basically, you know what? I can even do better than that. I will give you this. This is the actual document. So you'll be able to, you could even click and open this right now if you wanted to as we're talking about it. Or it's best, of course, just to follow along. But here are some ideas of final tasks, final projects that you can do concerning directions, concerning navigating streets and things like that. So one is a treasure hunt, where students will participate in hiding various items around the school and leave instructions for other groups of students to find the treasures. Do you like that idea? Now, you have to understand, these are the final destinations. This is the final project that's going to happen. I'm going to tell you how we're going to get to that point where they can actually be good at it. Okay, where they'll acquire that kind of language toolbox, the vocab toolbox that's going to require, that they'll be required to use. That's awesome, Andrea. I don't know if anybody read what Andrea said. She said, I started with Suivez mes directions, then eventually moved towards shopping. They know store names and directions to be able to show newcomers around town and buy items. Exactly. And so, Andrea, what you're hopefully realizing is that the actual DJ DELF kit itself, which you guys don't need, by the way, just because you're going to get stealing ideas here from it, don't worry about it. But when you do faisons du shopping, that is an awesome segue. So not only are the activities in the DJ DELF kit scaffolded, so one builds on the next activity, but the actual life aspects themselves all interrelate. And I'm so glad that you caught on that, Andrea. That's awesome. Okay, next one. Home decorator. So people are reading ahead. That's awesome. Home decorator. your students basically have to design a floor plan, complete with furniture and everything like that. And then basically leave instructions for workers to move the furniture and even walls around, okay? So even, things like move this a little to the left, move this to the northwest corner, things like that. And so in order to accomplish the final project task, another group of students or student will have to be able to follow those instructions, those directions, about moving things around. Do you like that idea? Yes, and I love the idea of you talking about math, Jenny, and because numeracy is really, really important. Thank you. All right, good. All right, so treasure hunt is good. Home decorator is good. Classroom maze, you can imagine what that's going to be. At the end, we're going to rearrange the classroom desks and the whole classroom situation and give instructions to students or a group of students to work their way through the maze. Now, some teachers have done this where they blindfold the students and have them turn left, turn right, move forward, reculer, which means go backwards, things like that. I don't recommend that. Okay, you don't want anything that's going to put the students in any possibility of danger. As much fun as that sounds, you could maybe do that in the gym with the big mats and stuff like that if you want to, the gym mats or whatever, if you want to do something like that, but not a classroom. So please, that's classroom maze. Tour guide, which somebody says they love tour guide. That is a good idea. So you use the DJ DELF kit map that's already there in the program, but you can use any map. Okay, so please understand this. And basically take people on a guided tour, which is fantastic because you've used that map, whatever map you're using for your classroom in the directions type project. Continue to use it throughout. Let that be the land base per se, from which all the learning is coming. Do you know what I mean? And the more they get used to it, the more comfortable they're going to be with the language. So that's really, really good. Yes, Andrea, that's really good. For those who can't read the comments, Andrea says, an idea for this week to review, have a new seating plan and give directions for where they're to sit. So you can say, Mark, you are northeast of where you used to sit, so where do you think you're going to be? It could be, that's a little complicated, I know, but you can go much, much more simpler with French, but that's a great idea, Andrea, I love it. Picture this. Now this one here, let me read it here, as create a design on a piece of paper, right, starting from the middle X, create a list of instructions that would allow a student to replicate the design. Some of you may have tried this before. This is where you can even do this with two students. Have students sit back to back with each other. One student is holding a picture in their hand, a simple picture, guys, make sure it's simple. And another student has a pen and a blank piece of paper. And student with the picture has to describe, so the student starts at the X in the middle, and the student who is looking at the picture will describe how the person that's back to back with them can possibly draw this picture. Does that make any more sense? Oh, Andrea, you're already energized? That's crazy. That's awesome. Okay, but can you give me some we's and no's? Did you guys understand that? Patricia said yes. Remember the shop talk rule, everybody, is that we need 3 we's in order to move on with anything. So thank you. Okay, good. We've got that. So the back-to-back exercise is cool. Picture this as a bigger version of that, all right? But this is my favorite one. So for the teacher who asked about ideas for grade 6s, this might be the one for you. Navigating my messy bedroom. Traffic jams, crowded streets, busy cities have nothing on your messy bedroom. Use the vocab and expressions acquired through the authentic tasks and real-life interactive activities that we will do to get the kids to that level where they're ready to do the project, okay? And imagine your classmates are ants. How would they navigate their way around your unmade bed, dirty dishes, piles of clean folded clothes, deposits of not so clean unfolded clothes, the homework, crumpled up papers, and more? Imagine your students are ants. Now they will have to kind of draw a map, and they'll have to create a way to get the students to navigate their way around the messy bedroom. What do you think about that idea? Next one is coach's plan. So now we take this application, the acquisition, of all the vocab and the learning of directions and how to manipulate maps, etc., into another application, which is a coach's plan. So devise a system of plays for a chosen sport. The student can pick the sport, whatever it is. They could work a 2-minute drill in football. They could draw up a defensive strategy in soccer, a power play in hockey. But they can use a lot of those direction terms that they've learned in the actual unit that you create, or if you use the DJ DELF kit, the one that's already there for you, and you have them create a coach's plan. That's going to be a real thing for a lot of students who do house league sports or travel sports will really dig that idea. I hope you understand what happens is before you even start your unit, it's highly recommended, research-based, highly recommended to pick a destination, to pick an end project. Your students can all do the same one, or you can have, here's 3 choices, guys. You can do any of these 3. And the beauty part of this is, and please hold on to your seats because this is my favorite part of it. You can do a suivez mes directions type thing. You can do a unit on directions, is what I'm saying. And next year, guess what? You can do a unit on directions. Isn't that great? So we can do a round of applause for that idea. It is so powerful because if they choose another destination the next year, you can actually revisit the same types of scaffolded activities that will bring them to their destination. But voila, the destination is different this time. Last year they did a coach's plan. This year it's navigating my messy bedroom. So that's really, really, really powerful. Ooh, can teach a dance. Thank you, Jenny. Awesome. It also can be, you know what, Jenny, you're getting my juices going here with my ideas. It also can be stagehand instructions for a play that's being run. So it's about, you know, scene 1, you move this couch there. Scene 2, the couch moves to the back and we bring in the automobile or whatever. Do you know what I mean? The props. So it could be the moving of props for a, do you know what I mean? There's so many things that we can do. Here's a couple more ideas. Is school redesign, city planner, and a different terrain. Okay, so there's some more ideas for you. Okay, so that document, in case you got lost in the shuffle of the chat box, I will type it in one more time, and there it is for you to copy and paste, grab, and share. That's what Shop Talk is all about. You people are obviously incredibly amazing because you are spending a Sunday evening thinking about your students. Your students are very, very blessed to have you. So what we do in Shop Talk is we share with each other and we try to just make a treasure trove of ideas that we can get energized about and go into the week or the next 2 weeks even and have big smiles on our faces. So honestly, God bless you. It's so cool that you guys are here for your students. Okay, so next, let's go back to the website where we stole this from. And the next thing is how to begin your journey. So we're going to use the DJ DELF kit as our excuse. But before I even show you that, I want to show you this. Since it's a journey of learning, why don't you have your students track their journey? So that's going to be my next recommendation. We're not even going to go into this yet until I show you this. For whatever task that your students are going to do, I love this idea. None of these are my ideas, by the way. These are all research-based proven ideas that exist out there, okay? That with a DJ DELF kit, they're done for you, but you can recreate this as well if you wished. But for every thing that you're going to have your students do, every authentic, action-oriented activity that you're going to have your students do, have them use an auto-evaluation sheet, okay? Have them use an auto-evaluation sheet where they will track their own learning. They're going to track their own journey to the final destination. And they do this by putting in the dates. So je commence is where they'll put the date of when they start. The point where they feel they're learning, j'apprends, they'll put a date here. The point where they feel they're understanding a certain task, they'll put that date there. So often these 2 dates are the same, and this one's usually the next day. And the point where they feel they're maîtrising something, where they're actually mastering something, that's when they'll actually write down the date of that. So what I'm saying is, as you go along in the weeks that it takes to do a type of a unit like this or a life aspect, this type of a sheet will be pockmarked with all sorts of different dates, start times and almost end times, if you will. And look at this. So we're actually, it's like this metaphorical thing or whatever, this parallel experience that they're having where they're actually tracking the journey towards the destination while they're actually doing a journey towards a destination. Now, remember we're stealing this, of course, from the DJ DELF kit, and for every activity there's a full explanation of what to do. But let's get to a fun way of starting. In the DJ DELF kit, basically, there's a story about how DJ DELF is telling you how to go from point X on the map to his house. And so the actual story or the song that goes with this, it's like a DJ thumping song, right? But it's actually a story. So what you can do is you set up a story, a set of instructions about how to get from one place to another, and fill that with a lot of vocab, okay? With a lot of vocab that is going to relate to their final project, okay? So you're going to arm them with basically all that they need. So about turning left, turning right, going up a street, going back, you know, all these things like that. All that kind of vocab is going to be there. Let me show you really quickly what happens with this. Oops, there we go. All right, so here's the map that the story refers to. And what's great about the DJ DELF kit too is that you can get this in Word and you can move the map around. So you can move the centre commercial, you can move l'hôpital, you can move all these things around. You can change the map completely and design it to look like yours, like your town, basically. But this is the journey that they're going to end up taking. So they're going to start at this bottom right here. So Michelle says, how do you change the map? You get it in Word, Michelle, by requesting it in Word. And then what happens is you grab the hospital, for example, because it's in Word, and you just move it down over here to this block if you wish. And you can move it all around, and then you can change the names of the street names to match the names of your street names. See, I'm not sure, Michelle, if you're familiar with the DJ DELF kit, but basically what it is it's a community. So there's literally thousands of people using this all over the world, right? And so basically it's a living resource. So it's ever changing. And one of the great things you can do about it is you can manipulate the actual activities, which is really cool. Okay, so let's go back to this. This is the journey that he has you take. So you start at the X, and then you go all the way around here, and you end up at his apartment, which is really, really strange because you would think he would just have you go here and done. But you find out in the song that he actually, in the story, that he actually wants you to pick up some milk for him because DJ DELF is really, really lazy, okay? And the students get a kick out of that when they finally realize it by studying it. So let's go back to the words. So again, nobody's telling you to use the DJ DELF kit. We're showing you the formula in the DJ DELF kit so that you, if you wish to create your own, can steal these ideas and have some fun. So make sure your story is chock full with the vocab that they're going to need to do that final project at the end, like this one has here. And step one is so much fun. Create the story, right? Or use this one, right? But then step one is have students take a blank piece of paper and you read the story. So read this story without them seeing it. And so this is teacher modeling. So they're gonna hear these words and have them write down on the sheet, on their personal sheet, any words that they can recognize as you're telling the story. And at the end of the story, maybe they've got 20 words, 40 words, 10 words, 5 words. I don't know. It depends on the level of your students. So that's going to be step one. I'm basically cheating here. I'm following the Great 8 strategies that are actually in the DJ DELF kit, and on the website. But anyways, just follow along because I'm going to give you a quick version, a quick story version of it so that you can kind of see how this works. Particularly if you want to create your own wheel, right? So that's going to be step one. Step two is then hand them, yeah, awesome. I love this, guys. Love the ideas that you're sharing. Step two is create like a blank bubble version or a blank version of it. And we're stealing it from activity sheet number 1, basically. So step number 2 is now they get to see most, not all, most of the words of the story that you created about how to go from one destination to another, from place X to the final destination. And it's going to be filled with blanks. Oh, by the way, the next thing to do after you read them the story and they write down words is talk about it. Okay, so say, okay guys, let's make a list of words. What words did you guys come up with? And try to see how many words they can come up with. And if you do this with multiple classes, you can do a competition. Which class can come up with the most words? And believe it or not, it's not necessarily by level. Your higher level students may not get as many words as your first year students. Trust me, okay? In fact, put that to a challenge and try it. Okay, and there's a box of possible answers down here that they can tier from, so they can pull these words and they can put them here and see if it fits there, fits there, fits there. But don't let them draw or write on this sheet. We're just discussing. So step 2 is just discussing. Step 3, if you're using this, you'll play the actual song. And so step 3 is they will actually do a listening exercise, and DJ DELF will be modeling as he tells the story, and they try to quickly write in the answers. So you play it a couple times. You give them a chance to write in the different words along the way. Or if you're making your own, you're going to read the same story you read in the beginning, you're going to read now, and they're going to try to catch up and fill in the blanks that you provided. So that's step 3. Step 4 is you play the lyric video, so it's actually a music video with lyrics, to this so they can verify their answers. What I'm doing here is sneakily making them speak, read, listen, and what's the other one? Speak, read, listen, and write. Thank you, I forgot. In French, as we're going through this. And guess what? We haven't even started the unit yet. We're just going over this. But they're actually being exposed to all this vocabulary, but not in a threatening way. Not that we're ever threatening as teachers, but do you know what I mean? Not in a way where it's making them feel like, this is too much work, man. Okay? So it's awesome. Look at all these ideas that you guys are putting down too. It is absolutely incredible. Somebody has to remind me to save the chat log, and you guys can get a copy of the chat log at the end, which would be really, really good. Okay? All right, next. Step 5. Cute, Michelle. At the end, you have to remind me. Okay, so basically what's going to happen is that you show the lyric video, so that's step 4. Step 5 is really, really interesting, okay? Because you're going to have the students consider these. Now, there's a couple ways you can do it. You can do it actually with just the text, or you could show them the map now so that they can see there's a relative map to this, okay? Margaret, I think you're right. I think you guys can save the chat log as well. Is that correct, Margaret? So if it is, yeah, definitely do that. So now get ready for step 5. You can either divide the story that you created, or this one if you have the DJ DELF kit. You divide this up into 4 parts, and you ask the students to consider, from these parts of town that you're hearing about, where would you like to live? If your students are more visual learners and you want to whip out the map that's related to the story that you created, or whip out the map of the DJ DELF kit, then do that. Grab the map, here it is, okay, and have them take the sheet of paper, fold it twice in half. Fold it down here and fold it down there. And here's what I'm going to do for you right now. Everybody, you actually, whether you realize it or not, you have access to your pens. So I'm going to zoom out, silly. So I'm going to zoom out. I'm going to try to get as much of the map in as I can. All right, good, there's the map. I'm going to redraw the lines. And why don't we do this right now? You know what? The best way to learn is by doing it and pretending you're the students as well. Okay, I just divided the map into 4 quadrants. Sorry, 3. It's an awful 3. And 4. Would you take your pen, please, and put a check mark in the place where you would live if you had a choice to move? Where would you live? If you had a choice to move somewhere in this town, where would you live? So we have 1 vote for quadrant 4 already. Look at the map and decide where was 2 votes for quadrant 1. That's awesome. A vote for quadrant 3. You can do an awesome socio-analytical study with the choices that are being done. More votes for 1 over here. If you grab your pen, if you don't have a pen, if you can't participate with a pen, please put a number in the chat box, please. Please, that's right. This is the Four Corners activity, Michelle. You're awesome. She recognizes. Okay, there's another vote for number 1, so I'll write that in for you, Patricia. Another vote for, okay, you guys are being bad. Oh, Jackie's already ahead. You're being bad because I'm trying to do a sheep voice because you're just following. Okay, so what I loved was Jackie already jumped to the next to step 6 and 7. So basically you fold the thing in half, the students decide where they want to go. Step 7 is they go over to, you label the corners of your classroom, quadrants 1, 2, 3, and 4. Have students get out of their desk and go to the quadrant where they would move to. Then, you understanding that? Okay, and then with the group of students that they're now surrounded by, you all had agreed that that's the best place to move. You have to name 3 reasons why that's the best place to live. Now, I'm surprised nobody picked quadrant 2, excuse me. Could somebody type in the chat box why some students would choose quadrant 2? Can you just type? I want to see if you catch why. Because I actually applaud students who choose quadrant 2. Anybody, can you see why? Because they can skate the Patsy Mohawk. Lots of hockey players. Maybe. Oh my gosh, you guys are so Canadian. You're outing yourselves. Okay. No, that's actually not what I was thinking. And you don't have to read my mind, so there's nothing wrong with your answer. Your answer is perfectly correct. Okay, the bakery. Yes. Okay. And the hospital, exactly. The hospital and also, to me, the police station. If your students comment on why the donut shop is so close to the police station, you won't be the first. We've had lots of teachers I've heard share that story. So that's kind of funny. That was not done on purpose by DJ DELF as an author, so don't worry. But anyways, okay, so now they're in their corners, and what they're going to do is they're going to actually, the cool thing about this is they're going to have to come up with 3 reasons why it's important to move there, or to live there. They're going to share with the other 3 quadrants why their place is the best. And then once all 4 groups are presented, you will give the students an opportunity to cross the floor and move across the city. And they can move to the place where they've now been convinced to move to, okay? I mean, some students choose quadrant 3 and jokingly, and they'll say it in their presentation, they'll go, oh, guys, our quadrant is the only quadrant within an apartment building. Where in the world are you people thinking you're gonna live in these other 3 quadrants? So it's kind of funny. So there's a lot of reasoning and arguing, and you can have debates about where to move and things like that. It's so much fun. A lot of people, well, there is a chateau, you're right, very good, Andrew. A lot of people love to live along the beach. Some people love to live where the train station is because they can head out. It's really interesting, the conversations that start. Now, does everybody realize we're 45 minutes into Shop Talk? We actually haven't even started the unit yet. But do you see already how much language acquisition has already begun? We're pulling on cognites, we're pulling on prior knowledge, we're pulling on their own experiences, and we're setting them up for so much success when we actually get down to the nitty-gritty of actually doing things. That's what I love about this. And then, of course, as Michelle, I'm not sure if it was you who asked, but somebody asked about, you know, are there animated videos for this? Yes, there are, right? So now they can actually watch Sophie and Nathan in the car as they're actually navigating these very streets on this map. In the animated video, you'll actually hear their discussion. So let's grab it here. I wish I could show you. I can't show you on this platform, unfortunately. But so let me just, oops, sorry. Let me go. I thought I had, yeah, I do have another one open. Okay, so there they are here. You'll see them talking and conversing, and of course all the key words are in the bubbles. But this here, basically what they're doing is they're reading the script. Okay, so create a script where they can model the idea of navigating streets. So let's show you the script that these animated characters actually read. And what's so cool is your students will get to experience the whole skit. All right. Then what they get to do is, because they watch the animated videos, they get to actually practice with the female or male character. So I'm just going to skip right ahead to it. So I'm bypassing all these activities, as you can see. So there are reading and listening exercises, there's written exercises, there's things where you're constantly going back to the map. The students are asked to go back to the map to try to discover things and pull information out of the text. So this idea of self-discovery is really powerful. The idea of multiple intelligence was powerful. Getting them out of their desks. Kinesthetic learning was powerful when we got them to the four corners. Having them draw things to show knowledge. Again, multiple intelligence is really powerful. But let's scroll over here to the actual skit. So if you're going to create your own unit like this, I suggest creating a model or an example of two people discussing how to navigate going from point X to point Y, point A to point B, whatever it be, all right? And make sure it has vocab where it's interchangeable. I think this is so powerful. I'm a huge believer in plays. Plays are awesome because they have us practice real life drama situations on speaking and interacting. But skits with interchangeable vocabulary multiply the ability to have language acquisition because they're practicing things differently every time. Every time students read this skit, for example, it is a completely different skit because what they're going to do is they're going to change the vocab in box 1 with the ideas from the possible vocab in box or section 1 over here. So à la boucherie can become au musée, or à la pharmacie, or à la librairie, or au parc, and things like that. So each time you read the skit, it can be a completely different skit. So students are going to practice over and over and over. And with the animated videos, of course, they can actually practice with the female francophone or the male francophone, and they read the part of the other one. So they're actually conversing with a francophone. That is so awesome. Okay, so does everybody understand what I was saying about this? Is creating kind of a script where they can practice navigating the streets, but allow for interchangeable vocabulary. Do we get some wheeze on that? Do we get some amens here? I like that idea. Only Jackie and Michelle like that idea. But that's okay, as long as Jackie and Michelle like it. Oh, and Margaret. No, Jenny too. Sorry. And yes, so Jenny, exactly. The whole idea is the great scaffolding, right? It's the building, 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 building. And when you practice this skit once, it's great. When you practice with the animated videos, it's great too. I mean, the scaffolding is actually right in the, I don't know if you noticed that. It's kind of clever, and it's not me. I'm not clever, so I don't think it's me. But they practice the full sketch. Then they practice with the female character. Then they practice the male character. And then they actually go and do a modifiable version where they're using the blank bubbles, okay? Right here, so you see the blank bubbles? And now they have to actually add their own, which is so cool, so powerful. And if you have level 1 beginner French students, grade 4, say if you're in Ontario, or grade 7 if you're in BC, or maybe Calgary, or wherever you're at, or in the States, doesn't matter. If you have level 1 students, this is scaffold, remember. It's scaffolded, so you're going to start at the baby steps. So that first year, you pull out the map and you're going to do some basic things with the map. And what's going to happen is, let me show you the map. I'll show you exactly what happens because I teach grade 9 and 10 immersion. And you'd think by grade 9 and 10 immersion, after 10 years of French, their French would be amazing. And for some of them it is. But for some of them, like Jenny said, who their students lack a little bit of imagination there, mine often do too. So in grade 9, at the end of the unit, if you want to call it life aspect, I'll ask my students to take me from the boucherie, say down here, to l'hôpital, because maybe the meat that I bought wasn't very good, okay? Or maybe I'm bringing some meat as a gift to one of the nurses, okay? Anyways, the point is they have to tell me how to get there on a one-on-one interview, okay? You could actually have them videotape themselves doing this as well, and you can just mark them later. So if you like that idea, remember that idea, okay? In grade 9, though, what I find is my students do a lot of, tourner à gauche, tourner à droite, continuer tout droit, et puis, blah, 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 right? In grade 10, when we do this again, and they've done a second project, a second destination, a second experience with this, now they're using the words like nord-ouest, and while they're going along, they're going, okay, you go past here, and then you go up here, and when you pass, l'école, they'll say, my aunt works at the school there. She's been working there for 11 years. And they add like little extras, okay? And that's where you see the language acquisitions actually growing from year to year because you're continuing to scaffold things. So please be encouraged to don't just do a food unit once in a student's career at your school. Do it every year. Navigate streets every day. Do je me présente and we meet people every day. Not every day, sorry, every year is what I'm trying to say. Do shopping every year. You know, do real life things because we don't know when they're going to leave us. We don't know when they're going to leave us, right? So absolutely, Michelle. And they have to invent storylines behind the reasons that we're actually going from point A to point B. I love that. Or assign them 2 places and they can decide where to go. Absolutely. Exactly. You don't have to tell. That way you can tell your students, I'm not going to tell you where to go. Although sometimes you do want to tell them where to go. Oh, we'll have to delete that. Sorry. I didn't just say that, did I? I'm sorry. That was wrong. Okay. We don't have some of the usual suspects and characters here on Shop Talk this week. Join us in a couple weeks when we go back to the fun French food as what we're going to be doing. We're going to have special guests and everything like that. We have some real characters that come on Shop Talk, and they are sarcastic and funny. They add some comedy to this because I know I can be dry sometimes, so I apologize. Okay, so we just have like 7 or 8 minutes left. Let's go back and take a peek at a couple ideas that you can do with your maps, okay? So again, you can change these things. You can do whatever you want. Let's get some fun things here going. Well, this is a good idea. There's this game right here, which is actually a board game. So they're actually moving through and they're learning more about the street names and the whatever legend you create for the things that are in your town. So the stores, the buildings, and things like that, right? I think another key too is to never forget, especially if you're a DELF Kit user, the website, because the DELF Kit is a living resource and it's used by all these teachers all over the world, they actually contribute more ideas for you and more exemplars, just like we have in Shop Talk. Let's see. And don't forget, you can actually do, oh, here it is, sorry. Michelle, it's right here. I knew it was here, that's why I hesitated there. Here is the actual map, everybody, in PDF and Word. Is there anybody here that would like to get a copy of that map right now? Please put a we, and I'll give you a copy of that map right now. Okay. All right, so there's so many things that you can do. You can play all these types of activities, and it just builds. But the Word thing is very, very cool. Then your students make their own sketch or skit, and they can present that, or they can make a video. There's so many things that they can do. Yeah, exactly, Jen. Yeah, exactly. Okay, can you see the itinerary? So this is like a Google Maps itinerary, which is really, really cool. So now we're going to encourage students to go beyond, go outside the 4 walls. That's why we have students go to French Playground and join us on French Playground, and et cetera, is in order to do real life experiences, right? Let's get our students working together. For example, okay, let me just give you this example right here. I can almost dare you right now, okay, because some people reply to dares, but doesn't reply to anything else. But let's go here. Let's go to the French Playground. I'm going to give you another idea right now. Just be patient with me. Okay. Do you see where it says Mystery Hangout in French right here for the 11th, which is this Wednesday? We could actually, on a Mystery Hangout, my class that I have that period, and you, one of your classes you have that period, which is 1:10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So imagine if you had a class right on Wednesday at 1:10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We could actually get together, 1 of us, 2 of us, 3 of us, 4 of us, 5 of us, 11 of us, 12, 20, whatever. And I could put up a map and we could actually play a directions game right there together, all of us together. Do you know what I'm saying? So for example, we're talking about real life applications. So I'm just giving you an example of a real life application. So you could do like that itinerary thing. So I could put the map up like this, up on the screen, and one of my students can give directions while your students take their pen, start at X, and they follow along with the directions. okay? And then you can even, or we can play a guessing game of when it is. Well, Jackie, thank you. I'm glad you mentioned Jack's going, well, the time just doesn't work with me, okay? You're just being unrealistic, Jackie says. Well, the good news is that with the French playground, you, Jackie, can pick, like if you remember, you can pick what time you want this to happen, and then it happens for you. That's how powerful it is, okay? So there's no more excuses about that time doesn't work for me. You can simply make that work, okay? So, well, I'll show you how. So Jackie, I'm not sure if you're a member. If you're not a member, you could just ask a member to do this for you, okay? Basically, everybody, it's really easy. For $9.99, you can be a part of the member of the French. You can be a member of the French Playground for 3 entire months. Okay, so it's very cheap. But you don't have to be a member, okay? Shh, don't tell anybody. You don't have to be a member. Because if you have a friend who's a member, you could take advantage of what's already on the calendar. You see all these things like tomorrow at 12 noon, 12:05 Eastern Standard Time, all of us can get together for a game of Kahoot. It's free. Nobody has to do anything. You just click on this. The box comes up. It tells you how to play Kahoot, what the possible topics are. And at 12:05, you just click right here to join, and your class can be playing Kahoot with us. Boom. Okay? You can request a game of Kahoot, any cultural activity, organize a hangout. You've heard of these mystery Skypes, and they're so fun and they're so wonderful. You just click one button. You don't even need Skype. And you can be together with your colleagues or somebody from Georgia or California, or you can be somebody from Calgary. There's some pretty great teachers in Calgary area, I heard. So like, it's fantastic. Okay, so they just fill out this form, you put in the date, the time, when you want to meet, and bada bing, bada boom. It gets put on the calendar, and you can host your own event, and it's easy as 1, 2, 3. Okay, but that's not my point. My point is, let's get, okay, so Michelle's asking about membership. Okay, let me just show you. Again, it's free. Everything on the French Playground is free. The only thing you can't get access to as a non-member is all the missions, which is how I wanted to end the show, by the way, was to show you the mission. But if you click on join, okay, so this is at frenchplayground.com/join, I guess, and you want to join today, all you're going to do is click on join today, and when you put in the, before you do anything else, you're going to put in the discount code. I'll show you. So you click on it here, and you see where it says 3-month plan. You choose, because basically it's less than $10 a month, right? But if you click on the 3-month plan, and if you click in the, right here it says, click here to enter your discount code. Click here to enter your discount code. Right, so if I click that, and I type in French for life. Do you see it? French for life. If you click on that, all capital letters, by the way, the $24.99 just became $9.99. And then you get to do all that fun stuff. But again, you don't have to do all that. That's just to answer Michelle's question, because Michelle specifically asked, just so you guys know. Okay? All right, now, so let me go to that last thing. This is how I wanted it. So you've got lots of ideas for directions. You can contact me. You can talk to me. You can ask more questions. You can go to the DJ DELF Kit Facebook group and get tons of ideas from there as well, or post questions, and they'll get answered by me or by hundreds of other teachers. And this is what it is. This video will tell you what to do, but it's really, really easy. This is one of the missions which French Playground is giving you for free to try. And this is an awesome challenge. I want everybody to do, thank you. Oh my God, thank you so much. Okay, here it is, everybody. This is the color challenge. I don't care what level you teach. You could teach university, and I challenge you to challenge your students to do this. In 30 seconds, they have to read this entire list of words. But, okay, what they have to actually read is not the word. They have to read the color. Oh, awesome, Michelle. So, ready? I'm going to try this. Ready? Rouge, orange, bleu, jaune, brun, bleu. Oh no, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, I'm reading the words. I messed it up. That is so funny. It is hard, isn't it? Okay, let me try it again. Bleu, jaune, vert, orange, blanc, rouge, gris, rose, rose again. Oh man, I blew this. Oh my gosh. See how hard it is? Oh, Michelle, she wrote out the answers. That's awesome. So you can follow along. That's great advice. So basically, that's challenge your students to that. And if you send it in, actually, the best kids thing, you send in the best times that you have. It is a lot of fun. Thanks, guys. According to the rules that I saw here with Educarock, there's the French for Life information, by the way, which is awesome. But if you send it in, the French Playground is going to be giving away a couple of free year memberships, like full year membership to the French Playground. So that would be cool. All right, so for 2017, you could be all French Playground up. But again, you don't need to. It's free, my friends. At least the calendar side is free. Your students, there's going to be upcoming interviews with rock stars and NHL stars and stuff like that. Your students can be part of French interviews. They can interview Cupid on Valentine's Day or around Valentine's Day. There's so many cool things that are going down. You know what? We're 10 minutes over time. I apologize. Thank you, everybody, so very much for everything that you guys have done and the ideas that you shared, the additions that you've given. I hope that you feel the energy. And what I want you to do is spread that energy. Go and tell your colleagues about Shop Talk and join us. Let's look back at the playground calendar. When's the next one? It's the January 22nd. So join us January 22nd, everybody. Let me scroll down here. Let's click on it. I'm doing it really fast, so it's going to fly on your screen. But join us for French food fun food, for French students, okay? The best way to do language acquisition is through the students' stomachs. So we're going to have French chefs on. We're going to have just all these awesome ideas. If you enjoyed this week, it's nothing compared to what's going to happen on the 22nd. So I just can't wait to see you guys there. Thank you so much for joining us.